And it's a
Control
control
warrior against control warrior.
a control warrior mirror match. We're already on turn 4 or 5 here.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. So I don't exactly know which cards were played, but I can tell you both of them have a death bite. One uses have been taken, so I have to assume that sometime in the near past, an armor smith died.
okay, so Dale has the armor smith out here, and he's going to go ahead and cruel taskmaster it to get a bit more damage in and try and stop the position of D2 in establishing armor.
That's a fine play. He's got the upper hand for the time being, but the hand. I mean, he's got less cards in hand than his opponent, which is going to be a pretty crucial deal here. Being able to
Sure.
apply pressure first can be a big deal. And I mean, these warrior matches, sorry, tend to go on for what, hours?
Yeah, I
Sometimes you
mean,
can go grab a snack and come back, and your opponent is still deciding upon what he wants to do.
I mean, you thought that last game was short. This is going to be the counter to that last game.
Yeah. What I like about these matchups though, is the tendency for them to reward deck building very heavily. So, what I mean by this is that every card matters. Every little card that you draw will be effective because you get to usually see the entire deck, or you very often get to 25 cards played or seen, which means that if you've got, two BGHs instead of only one, that will factor in massively.
Absolutely. Lots of options in hand. It's probably going to be a Shield Maiden turn here on turn 6. It fits the curve very well.
Yeah, it also makes sure that you're gonna have. I mean, I think Dale's here at the top will be wanting to put down some damage on his opponent's face because he's got the Alexstrasza, he's got the Grom, and he's got the Death Bite. So he's trying to bait a Harrison Jones so that his Death Bite is not going to get eaten up by it, and that would ensure that he can trigger his Grom Hellscream without relying on Cruel Taskmasters. It's a very nice long-term play.
Sylvanas comes down here, and you got to feel like this turn is definitely a Shield Maiden. Have any
Uh,
real other lines of play?
I mean, I like the Iron Beak Owl play. I feel like it's probably overall much better.
Sure. So silencing the Sylvanas, and then, in fact, you could even probably kill the Sylvanas here if you were to
Yeah,
silence it.
silence, armor up, shield slam, trade with the armor smith, perhaps. I mean, whirlwind execute works too. Like there are many ways to approach this, and a lot of them would just give you the value you want. There it goes. See, this is another way to do it, and it's probably a little more effective, in fact.
Using the execute over the shield slam.
Yep. Because the armor count you've got right now is not threatened in any way. So between the Shield Maiden and your 6 armor, you should be able to get yourself to a high enough number that you can remove most of the threats that are put down. All right, funny enough, Dale's actually ahead on cards now, which wasn't the case a second ago.
Yeah, it's throwing down these options on board for D2 and having to use that clearance does give Dale the slight card advantage. But here in turn 8, he doesn't have a huge amount of options in hand. He's looking at potentially some shield slam plays, maybe even
Wait,
maybe
is
even,
he thinking of developing Death Bite?
I can't imagine he's going to develop Death's Bite. I guess maybe he's looking at Gromash and thinking he wants to use the
But
Death's.
it's not even nearly done. I mean, a shield block, a shield maiden is going to just wreck you. I hope he's not trying to rush the Grow Mash play, because that would be probably a bit of a mistake. Playing for the long game here can be very viable as an option. Alright, that's what he decides to do. He decides not to try to rush the Death Bite out.
Definitely. So the armor being developed here, and option of a shield block, but D2 is gonna go for the shield maiden.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty troublesome situation because the armor count of Dale is actually low enough, and he's got no Shield Maiden in hand that the Shield Slam cannot remove that 5/5. And, oh well, okay, never mind. Shield Block has been top decked. That will solve that problem.
Absolutely, shield block, shield slam, such a good combo.
Yeah, you just kill the Armor Smith
Fiery
5 here for the
Warx as
time
well
being.
just to clear the board here.
hmm
But they both have Alexstrasza sitting in hand, and that's such a crucial card in this Warrior Mirror match. If
Yeah.
one player isn't able to develop the armor, which Dale has had his armor shredded here, while D2's got his all the way up to 15, which means the Alexstrasza is going to be so much more effective.
Yeah, I mean it's going to take a little bit for Daly actually to be able to kill the minions that will come out. Like if Alexstrasza comes out next turn from D2, which I somehow doubt, if it were to come out, it would be a little bit of a problem because there are no big game hunters in hand right now. Everything he's got is kind of combo-ish. It's your win condition.
Definitely, apart from the Spellbreaker there's not really. The Alexstrasza is going to come down from D2.
Yeah, no big game hunters in hand, no nothing at the moment.
Doesn't top deck it, Lothab. He has Death Spite and Execute, but he's gonna have to use his face for that, and that's
He's
horrible.
gonna have to he's going to have to hope that Lothab cuts it. But unfortunately, I don't know that it will. All he has to do is shield slam it and then go on for 10 to the face. And then I guess counter Alexstrasza yourself, just so you live. I mean, this is such an awkward turn. He's got no way to get an AoE damage. Just one damage on Alexstrasza. Just one to be able to execute it, but he's got nothing of that. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems like this game is maybe Dale here.
It's slipping away, but all it would take is one good top deck because the aggression from D2 is heavily reliant on the Alexstrasza that he's got right now. So if at any point an answer to Alexstrasza is drawn and D2 doesn't have follow-up aggression, this could just turn right back up. I mean, he doesn't know it, but D2 does not have the ability to Grom and do some fancy play right away and get lethal.
Yep, so he's gonna develop the Death Spite here and
definitely the right
for potential Gromash play.
Yeah, but he can't win against Gromash anyway, so there's no point playing around it. Oh, the Death Spite coming in. Very, very important card here. Allows him to pump more damage as follow-up.
Shield Slam just developed Death Spite?
Yeah, and you go face, and then at least Del right now has his execute. So the game is actually pretty far from over. It sounds a little ridiculous to say right now, but it is pretty far from over.
Definitely.
It's a bit silly to say that at this point, but
now
do you Alexstrasza yourself though as a follow up? I believe you have to.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to heal back up. You have to think that even if he has Gromash, you're dead at that point. So you really.
And he lives actually. He lives through Gromash at this point because Gromash plus Death Bite is only a total of 14 damage.
Now, do you shield block to try and get shield slam here?
You could just shield block in Sylvanas.
Yeah, but if you get shield slam for your Sylvanas, you could steal it. But
you can just drop Sylvanas alone. She's still but there's a Spellbreaker right there. Spellbreaker at the ready here for Dale. That's actually
that's gonna come down, and the Gromash cool Taskmaster sitting in hand. 8 damage going to go to the face with the. In fact, he's going to use the damage from the Alexstrasza to kill the Sylvanas. Fiery War Axe probably going to go to face and try and work down for lethal.
The win conditions for D2 right now are, I wouldn't say few and far between, but they're going to be very, very reliant on him finding like a Ragnaros to get 8 damage out and then finding Gromash as a combo piece. Because right now all he's got are shield slams and he's
going to take 8 damage to the face here, but also being able to proc the Acolyte of Pain.
Oh wow, that is a nice top deck.
Another card coming down.
And yeah, this is a big threat. This is a really, really huge threat.
And there's Dr. Boom. I was just about to say Geddon is a card which has been cut in some lineups to make way for things like Dr. Boom, but obviously still a force in D2's deck. And are we going to see a YOLO Rag here?
Actually, if YOLO Rag hits the face, Gromash Hellscream could threaten lethal as a follow-up.
Sure. I mean, there isn't another play other than
I mean, the only other play is a bad... I think Gromash Hellscream to attack Geddon is an awful play. But then again, Ragnaros feels... I guess, for him right now. I still think it is the proper play, though. Yeah, and he does drop the Ragnaros. Which I agree with, personally, but... There's an argument to be made for not playing around.
All right, well, let's see where this Ragnaros goes. If it hits the Geddon, it does clear the Geddon.
Oh, wow. And there's no way for him to kill Ragnaros effectively. He has to armor up, shield slam, execute. I mean, Dr. Boom is a good play because it puts 3 minions on board, and Ragnaros will have a tough time dealing with this because he'll have to actually hit one of the targets.
Definitely, and that's and he does have the shield slams, shield maiden, shield block,
How
shield maiden.
YOLO-ish is Grom Cruel Task? It's 14 plus 8. That's not even lethal, unfortunately. It's
No,
successfully. It's just a bad play.
I guess you just shield maiden, develop your own armor here, and really put yourself at. Or
Grom
is
is
he
not
going
a
to go
bad
for
play.
it?
You could attack a bomb with Grom and force the enemy to have execute, but I feel, and he hasn't played BGH either. But if he had it, he would have killed Rag, which indicates that your Grom might be safe. But then there's so many pieces of different removal that could work here in D2's favor. I mean, playing down the Shield Maiden is not bad. Do you Shield Maiden and kill one of the 1/1s? It's so awkward.
I don't know that you kill one of the 1/1s. I think you have to.
Attack Boom. I mean, you're not playing around Gromash anymore, because if he had it, he would have killed you ages ago.
It's very, very difficult to see a way out of this. It's kind of awkward, but he is going to go for the Gromash Cruel Taskmaster.
And here it is. This is it. This is YOLO time. He
Yep,
is YOLOing so hard.
and
Oh
hits
my
face.
goodness. He's gonna
Oh my
die then.
god.
Oh wow, Ragnaros, hello. Wait, does he have lethal? I mean, you can't eat, like, this is a night. Well,
So you can execute the Gromash.
I mean, I think you brawl. Do you just, no, you can't brawl, because if Ragnaros lives, you die. Okay,
If
what about
Ragnaros lives,
just
you're super dead.
you
Is he
you
gonna
have
do
to
it?
attack full face. He might win.
Yep.
He might actually just win off of this. Just straight up win off of the brawl. If it hits for 4 and 4.
All right. Well, this is going to be an absolutely crucial brawl here. What's going to survive? It's the Ragnaros.
Oh, the
And
game.
D2 is dead, but
This is so
no,
painful.
the bombs don't go.
He has to armor up and shield slam and execute, which
Wow.
means Dill is actually still in this game for the time being.
This
Oh
is
my
insane.
goodness.
Now Dill's going to play. Dill's going to play the Shield Maiden, and then the Ragnaros is going to come down from D2. You got to think.
But if Ragnaros doesn't hit the 5/5, then there's a lethal looming from a top deck. But you still have to do it. I mean, you can't just counter with your own Shield Maiden. You have to play a Rag and go just full threat here.
You got to take the 50% chance of taking the initiative.
Yes, exactly. Because losing the initiative here is going to be too big of a deal. Uh-oh. Is there another Death Bite left in the deck? If he finds Execute, I couldn't keep track of the cards. We missed the first few turns. Armor Smith, that's not even going to help, though. It's not going to help for now, but 5/5 to the face, that puts D2 on exactly 4 health. Which means another Ragnaros whiff. If Ragnaros hits face afterwards, this is going to be a really big problem for him. I don't think he Whirlwind. I guess he's afraid of weapons then.
Yeah, he wants another bit of armor. Fiery War Axe there.
Which was actually the play, it seems, because he would have died otherwise. Well, he can still die. No, he can't. Not this turn. This is going to be a Shield Maiden, Fiery Wind Axe turn.
Shield Maiden, armor up, gets himself back up.
I'm not sure Whirlwinding was necessary.
No, it did develop the armor, but
I mean, that it didn't really save you from anything you weren't. I guess it saves you from a Death Bite. That's pretty much it. All right. Well, there's 10 armor now on D2.
both of them down at 4 health, but big armor. And the Ragnaros kills the Shield Maiden.
Yeah, this is going to be very tough to come back from. Is this this is not a guaranteed lethal yet, though.
No. Well played coming down from Dale, but it's going to need... In fact,
well, it's a 50-50 if it hits.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, lethal.
No way.
With the 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to be?
Go all in. Let's do this. Face, sludge, Harrison. Because who cares? So the Whirlwind ultimately didn't change anything. In fact, it might have saved him, but...
It came very close indeed.
That brawl was a huge play. Did he develop Grom Hellscream way too early?
It feels like he maybe did, but what else do you do in that situation other than, like we say with the the Ragnaros over the Shield Maiden from D2? You've got to try and take the advantage in this matchup. Otherwise, you end up in a stalemate where you both got lots of armor, and it becomes much more draw dependent.
Yeah, but like the turn where Dr. Broom was up,
Yeah,
I feel like. Oh well. Ultimately, I don't think it'll matter. Wow, there's no lethal coming up just yet. Wow. So Dill lives one more turn, and Bouncing Blade comes out.
okay. Bouncing
This
Blades.
RNGesus.
So Bouncing
Yeah,
Blade's going to be played. Is it going to kill the Ragnaros?
it might.
We
Oh
get to
wow!
see.
What? You what?
No, it
Oh
doesn't. It leaves the
no!
Ragnaros
It's
at
on
one
one.
health.
Oh goodness, Bouncing Blade! Don't play with my heart like this. But then the slime. No, it can't kill it because the sludge belcher will fall down. Oh my goodness, that
And there's
was
Gromash.
crazy. Oh, Bouncing Blade when you hold us.
Sludge Belcher coming down from D2. And do you just play the Harrison Jones or do you
All
armor
right.
up?
Honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter because if you kill the 3/5, I mean, it's all about the execute. I don't even know if he's running one more.
And
I don't think it
Rag
has
goes
one.
face.
All right. Well, that might actually be enough to live. If he doesn't get hit in the face with that rag, he might just be okay.
Double Sludge Belcher. So there's no real way through for threats on board here, but Ragnaros could still reach. And actually, that Fiery War Axe,
That makes
pretty
this whole
crucial.
thing a 50-50. At the moment, this is a huge deal.
So he's going to be able to clear one of the sludges here
Mm-hmm.
and keep his own Sludge Belcher alive here. He's going to wipe the slime off the board as well, play the Harrison and armor up. And it's now a 50-50 for the win for D2.
That's a lot of 50-50s I think he's missed.
Is it going to be?
Yeah,
Yes,
and it's
it
the
is.
face.
D2
All right.
goes to 1-0 over Dale.
After all is said and done, Warrior wins against Warrior. That was actually a little weird because I feel like the match was really close up until the point where Dr. Boom was developed and Dell had to go all in with his Grommash Hellscream, or at least decided to. I don't know if that decided to go all in with it. And I'm still not sure if developing Grom as anything but a huge threat would have worked.
It was very, very difficult to make those decisions, as you say, and play, down the line. We don't actually know exactly what classes these two are playing because we just kind of jumped into this match very last minute to try and bring you some more Hearthstone action. But I believe this series is 1-0 or... Oh, this series is actually at 1-1. So Dale took the first game with that Warrior deck.
All right.
So we jumped into this series in progress. So we're now in the deciding game, and this is going to decide the final position. These two are playing for their future in the tournament because Acreo has won the tournament, it looks like. In fact, yeah, Acreo has won the tournament on the back of having won both its games 2. Sorry, winning the group rather than...
Yeah, not the entire tournament, just the groups.
The little mini tournament in Group 9.
Yeah.
So Creo has won Group 9. So the winner of this next game is going to go on to the next round.
I'm actually just curious.
Made sense when I worked through it.
Yeah, it made sense when you thought you'd finish the tournament, but it's not over yet. Not by a long shot, actually. There's a lot more games for you to cast tomorrow. Do not despair.
For sure.
There's the... I'm curious, are we going to see the next game coming up here from Dills versus D2?
Yep. We're going to go into this deciding game, and it's actually, I believe, the last game that's being played in this whole series. This is going to decide the final lineups here. Yeah, so we're going to see this is the final game, and it's going to decide the final person who's going to go through, and it is Priest for Dale
against Warrior with a mind control, which is actually very important. And
all right.
Wow, Vol'jin, hello.
Well, I'm going to go away, and I'm going to come back about turn 7. I guess we could just chill till then, Noxious.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's just do that, I guess. But I mean, the Warrior hasn't actually found any weapons, and those are interesting cards to find very early against Priest. Wow.
Turn 1 Northshire Cleric Power Word Shield. That's very, very difficult to deal with for any class.
This is so frustrating. You can't even develop Armor Smith. I need to stop saying develop.
I like it. I think it works.
Oh yeah, he can't even play anything because he's gonna give the Priest too many options too quickly. And now he can't even play it later because it's Cabal Shadow Priest. How do you win against things like these? Oh well.
I don't understand what you have to do to win here. It's so difficult.
No, it's just a long. It's a turn. It's a matter of card to card. Every card matters. And the value of the Acolyte of Pain getting denied by that Wild Pyromancer just sitting there and waiting. The light shall burn you. If he doesn't say it, I am never watching this tournament. I'm gonna go get some water. He didn't say it. I'm out. Be right back. Getting water.
Well, Nox is actually leaving in disgust from the casting table here, leaving me all alone. I guess we're jumping into these games without a break, so I don't blame him. But we're going to see probably an armor smith be developed here from D2. Start to develop his own armor, though he is going to be very aware of the threat of the wild.
All right, back.
That was quick.
Sorry, what? Yeah, that was quick. I have water right next to me. I sleep.
See.
I sleep where I drink water. So nothing happened. That's surprising. I didn't miss anything.
So I just love I love the idea that you decide where you sleep based on where you're drinking water rather than drinking water where you sleep.
Exactly. That's how I work. I do things differently. All right. So Sludge Belcher here does not feel too bad. But we know that Vol'jin's there. Do you even do that with Vol'jin? I mean, that's Control Warrior.
Matchup. Feels like a pretty good swap.
I mean, it's one of the weirdest matchups by a long shot, but all you have to do is throw your useless legendaries down and then wait until you can get value out of the important ones.
Absolutely. But he does go for the Harrison Jones instead. Interesting choosing to go with that over the Sludge Belcher.
I'm almost tempted to Vol'jin and trade my Wild Pyromancer away here.
Vol'jin to steal the 4 health of the Harrison.
I mean, it's not a lot of health, though, but... Wait.
My cat wants to cast with us, Noxious. I don't know
how
you feel about that.
Whoa. What happened? Circle of Healing to deal damage into trade?
Wow, That is
genius. I love that. Okay, I actually like that play more than maybe I should. That's really awesome, but I'm not sure if it's really effective though. I mean, it's pretty fancy, but it feels like a cute play.
It feels like it also feels like a big waste of Circle of Healing. I guess you're not looking for too much board wipe in this matchup, but
I mean, you're gonna need them later for, I guess, other value. I'm confused, I guess.
What are you?
So Sylvanas is not a play here. I don't think you ever are happy with that. You just drop like mid-range stuff and force him to expend some of his cards on them.
Is he gonna go for the Sludge Belcher here? Do you think?
That's what I would do, but I mean, he might just be unwilling to do so for whatever reason. I can't think of a reason not to do that. Now you're giving him Cabal Shadow Priest. Oh, not anymore. That's right. Cruel Task. Never mind. What am I talking about? Yeah, there's still oh, wow. Hello, Whirlwind.
We didn't see that from D2 last turn, but Holy Nova there.
Holy Nova, you have pretty much 0 times to use it against Control Warrior. It's one of those cards where, I mean, Dr. Boom is the only time where you're happy to have it, because it's the only time where you actually have any value out of it. Dr. Boom actually gives Holy Nova some merit. Usually back pre-GVG, playing Control Priest against Control Warrior meant your Holy Nova would just sit there unused for the entire game.
So, you know, what about the Cabal Shadow Priest play here? You could see Taskmaster and trading.
I would just take that 2/2.
Yeah, taking the 2/2 and trading it into the Acolyte of Pain. Is that the play that we're looking at here? He does have 2 Cabal Shadow Priests in hand.
No, but he can't attack immediately with it, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's the problem.
It's not like Shadow Madness.
Exactly. How many cards does Warrior have? Yeah, exactly 8. All right. Yeah, I guess you throw the second Northshire because you don't care. No, he doesn't.
Here.
I don't think I do.
Shield Maiden comes in here. Just never go full Northshire.
All right. Now we're looking at a Dr. Boom turn. And there is no Holy Smite to go alongside that Vol'jin, so this might just be a Shadow or Death boring play. Or a counter boom. I don't dislike a counter boom play.
I guess, you know, Dr. Boom versus Dr. Boom, it's always fun to see where the bombs land, but it can often be a very, very, very play to see where those end up. What's he going to go for here? He could, of course, steal one of the bombs with the Cabal Shadow Priest.
Do you really? I don't. That's the least value ever. I mean, I'd rather take a slime or an armor smith. Then again, it is a bomb. I mean, Shadow Word. I mean, he's got answers. Let's just be honest here. He has the answers he needs. The question is, how does he want to go about it? I mean, do you just kill one bomb, then drop your own Dr. Boom and watch where the fireworks go?
He's going to death the 7/7.
Perfectly acceptable play.
Makes sense.
Did he actually just lose his
Oh my god, yeah, the bomb kills the North Star with full damage. That's very, very unlucky for Dale.
What is that, 12.5%?
Yeah, well, it's
bad.
25%. 25%, isn't it?
No, because it had to hit the target first. And then hit it for 4, so it's like 12.5. Yes. Oh my goodness.
That's very, very unlucky for Dale losing that North Star Cleric that he would have been looking to heal up and heal the injured Blade Master and draw cards.
I don't think he wants to draw cards in this matchup anymore. I think he's got enough. It's just that it's a good body to kill the 1/1s. So it's really useful for that specific reason.
Execute the injured Blade Master, is that?
That's a pretty standard play, yes. It's fairly standard against Priest, because he's got, he still has his shield slams. He's got his Shield Maiden and Shield Block in case he needs that. He's got the Iron Beak for some of the more important minions. Ah, this is looking really nice here. That's a really nice Cabal Shadow Priest steal.
Yep, so the Cabal Shadow Priest is going to come down on the Armor Smith.
Negate some of that Shield Slam value for later.
Yeah, definitely. And the Priest is going to start to build up armor of his own with the healing.
I would have probably played the North Star Cleric here, since there is basically no reason for you to not develop it. You just throw it away on the Sludge Belcher. I don't know. You might need card draw later on. I mean, I feel like he's drawn a lot already at this point. In a control mirror match, drawing too many cards can be a detriment. So he's going to have to slow down on that. Alright, so you got a 4/5 and a 1/4. This is going to be a lot of armor for the Priest, but you still have to deal with them in some way. I don't feel... I mean, Shield Maiden... you could Shield Maiden, Shield Slam the 4/5, or rather Fire War Axe plus Bomb the 1/4, then Shield Maiden, Shield Slam the 4/5.
Do you develop the Shield Maiden rather than Shield Block to draw cards?
Either works. Either really works. And I feel like developing a minion is probably a little bit stronger.
Yeah. So we're just seeing what D2's thought process is going to be here. Does have the Owl available if he wanted to try and deny that armor, but he is going to go ahead and give it away. Shield Maiden comes down. As we predicted, Shield Slams the 4/5, but can I say perhaps a slight misplay not attacking the Armor Smith before the Cabal Shadow Priest, giving one more armor to the Priest?
What ended up happening is that he negated the armor by having the bomb explode, but yes, it would have been a slightly better play by a very tiny margin.
And Shadow Madness, full Shadow Madness value. That is the most disgusting thing that can happen with a Shadow Madness. You lose your Belcher, and then you don't even get the slime back.
Yeah, he just keeps it. But that's what Priests do. They have, like... Shadow Madness doesn't even see play everywhere, but when it does see play and it works, that's actually pretty wonderful. I mean, you're super happy about it. Shield Block comes out after all is said and done, and that's going to way too much armor for the Priest states, I can tell you that much.
Is he going to go ahead and trade the... Yep, trades the Shield Maiden with the injured Blade Master and develops another Shield Maiden. So 14 armor for D2 here.
I think this is an amazing Dr. Boom turn.
Yeah, it's probably as good a board as you're going to get for Dr. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can even develop, Dark Cultist just because. I mean, there's so many things that you can do.
He's thinking about maybe Vol'jin and Sludge Belcher.
Okay, yeah, Vol'jin, Sludge Belcher. I mean, a 5/5 and a 3/5, and the opponent almost systematically dies attacking the taunt. Yeah, it's not a bad play at all.
But he's going to go for the Dr. Boom here. And
that much value from Dr. Boom alone. And you've seen one Shield Slam, you've seen one Execute, so you're putting the opponent in a position where he has to have specific things. And this is never a position you want to be in.
And D2 has no way of dealing with the 7/7 body at this point. I guess he's got a Shield Block to dig for something, right?
I mean, you could Whirlwind and drop Sylvanas,
What now?
but
It's gonna go with a shield block. Death's
oh,
Bite.
wow. Does that actually help?
You can kill the Dark Cultist, but that's not what you want to. You don't want to do that.
I mean, Whirlwinding is not the worst. But you'd have... Okay, you know what? You use the 5/5 to attack into the 3/4. Then you drop Sylvanas and Whirlwind. Hope she dies and you steal Boon. No?
I think that might be a little bit more YOLO the D2 was aiming for.
Oh, the mind control for Sylvanas. Oh, goodness.
Sylvanas going to get a taste of her own medicine there, getting stolen, hopefully, off the mind control.
And you know what? There is deal with this afterwards. Look at the amount of damage currently on the priest side. This is an inordinate amount of damage.
An inordinate amount of damage. You're absolutely right.
Is inordinate a word? Or did I just
Oh,
make
yeah,
it up?
yeah. No. Totally
Okay,
right.
I was just confused for a second. Well, I don't know that trading here... I don't know. I think I would have considered trading the Dark Cultist and 2 bombs away. Because right now you're vulnerable to executes. But then again, the warrior cannot play anything. All he has to do is wait. Or if he kills Sylvanas, he has to use it without having a minion on board. So Whirlwind, Execute plus Death Bite on Dr. Boom feels like something I would consider, but quite frankly, it doesn't feel too good either.
This is such a lot of damage. It's so difficult to deal with. He's got the Execute, he's got the Whirlwind, but... You know, he can clear the Boom and clear the Boom bots, but he's going to take damage to face.
Yeah, well, taking the damage right now is the least of your worries. Looking at this board, you have to deal with it in some manner.
He gets 5 damage from the Boom bots. Execute on...
Sylvanas, on the 7-1, and then kill Sylvanas.
Yep, he's going to kill the Sylvanas and leave the Dark Cultist. Did have the owl that you could have used to deal with the Sylvanas there, but this is probably the optimal play.
I mean, owl and Sylvanas when you don't have a minion is not really very useful. Oh, Vol'jin and Holy Smite. Now that is what I call a power play.
It's not very useful at the moment, unfortunately, but D2 has set himself up with the Death Spite for potential Grommash play, but he's a long way away from that and actually has very few playable cards in hand. And if he does decide to... He could well opt for the Grommash here to just because he has nothing else to play, and then the Vol'jin Holy Smite play on the Grommash is going to feel horrible.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I guess you could... this is such a terrible position for the warrior, because you've got a Death Bite. It can go in, you know, and kill minions fairly relevantly, but how do you deal with the future threats that are going to come down? Oh, that's a way of doing it.
There's a Ragnaros. That does something. Not sure what it does, but it'll do something.
So, attack Sludge? Nah. I don't know that... I mean, you have to YOLO Rag it, but it's so awful. It's a nightmare. Do you even understand how YOLO... This is a rag that says, alright, deal with me. I know you can probably do it, but, you know, just think about me later when you need a favor. It's the most useless Ragnaros ever.
The slime.
Oh, goodness. Alright. Vol'jin Holy Smite, ladies and gentlemen. You're about to witness it.
That's what's going to happen. That's, you know, you thought Priest's plays with Okanai Soul Priest were disgusting before. Vol'jin Holy Smite is that the most disgusting in the game?
I think it's one of the best plays in the game, but it's overlooked by, like, a lot of people don't even want to play Vol'jin. It's funny enough that I've seen a lot of control priests that don't even bother with it.
But
I mean, I can understand, like, against an aggro metagame, it's the most useless card ever. It is arguably the most useless one.
There you go, Holy Smite, and a 6/8 on board now. He's going to Circle of Healing to draw 2 cards as well.
Should have done that at the beginning of the turn, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and the warrior now in a World of Hurt facing down a 6/8. This is like a bigger Boulder Fist Ogre.
He gets a sludge. He got a Sludge Belcher off that Thought Steal as well. That's going to be even more for him to deal with.
And now the priest, all he has to do... He's got such a massive card lead.
Wow, the Grommash to kill the Vol'jin, that's just going to die to the Dark Cultist now, and that doesn't feel like a good play at all. But no other options available for D2, and this is really running away from him here. In this position as a control warrior, you don't want to be out of cards. Is there anything that can save D2 at this point?
A good brawl on an overextended board maybe, but Ragnaros coming down here is going to guarantee 8 damage. So I'm not too sure personally. And there's still a Sylvanas in that hand. There's everything. Everything is in that hand.
There's a Cabal. There's a Sludge Belcher. There's an Alkanai. There's Sylvanas. Even if you were to get a super lucky brawl,
I would just concede. But I'm just that guy.
Oh, D2. It's such a difficult position. Fiery War Axe, not what you need. There's nothing he can do here. This game is beyond him. And it's going to be Dale who's going to advance from Group 9, it seems.
Do you just play everything you've got in hand just because? Actually, does he have lethal with Fiery Wind Axe?
It's just what I was thinking. 9.
Yeah, Fiery War Axe, Alkanai, Ping, you win. 5. Yeah, he has it.
I think, is he not 1 off lethal?
No, he's got, I think, exact lethal. Alkanai, Ping, 9. That brings him down to 13, plus Fiery... Oh, you're right, he's 1 off.
Yes, he's 1 off lethal with Alkanai, Hero Power, Fiery War Axe. And he could put D2, as you say, at 1 health.
That'll teach you not to get death bites. Such play, much wow.
I think that's what he's going to do. Alkanai...
He doesn't even have to, though. He can just sit there and wait forever.
He's going to go for Power Word Shields. Again, on that North Shard to draw more cards. Gets another Alkanai. He's going to Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, because why not? I mean, this game's already over. So it's kind of interesting to see that Control Priest... I mean... To me, before GVG, I thought that Control Warrior could not possibly lose against Control Priest. I thought it was really one-sided for the Warrior.
Absolutely.
But getting weapons early is a pretty important part of it. I mean, you saw the early play, right? Turn 1 Northshire into coin. Power Shield really locked down the ability for D2 to play anything at the beginning of the game.
Definitely, and that is going to be it. 2-1 to Dale over D2, and Dale is going to be the final person making it through to day 3 in the round of 24. And what a stacked lineup that is looking like. But very unfortunate for D2, running out of cards at just the wrong point there, and the Priest completely taking over.
Yep, complete. That mind controls of Sylvanas was a really crucial turn. So, yeah.
Sure.